Welcome! Thank you for volunteering to be an evaluator for the Prince George's County Project Lead the Way Senior Virtual Presentations. This annual event is the culmination of 4 years of hard work for our students, and it would not be possible without support from volunteers like you. In this tutorial, we will briefly discuss 3 topics: the purpose and scope of the presentations, what to expect during a presentation session, and how to use the rubric.
Project Lead the Way is a comprehensive engineering program offered in select schools in Prince George's County. High school students take 5 PLTW courses during their high school career. The 5th and final course is called Engineering Design and Development, or EDD. EDD is designated as the PLTW capstone course, in which teams of students use the engineering design process to identify and justify a problem, then develop, prototype, and test a solution to that problem. At the conclusion of the course, teams present their entire process to a panel of experts. The evaluation of the panel will be used as a final exam grade for the course, and the highest performing teams will present their projects in person at our annual Senior Symposium in the coming weeks.
The senior virtual presentations are held over several days online, with multiple teams from different schools presenting on each day. Each of these sessions will be led by a facilitator, usually a PLTW coordinator from one of our high schools. All team members are expected to be present at the virtual meeting during their team's time slot. Teams are given 30-minute time slots where their project will be evaluated by the panel.
Each of the team's time slots are broken into 3 parts. After the team introduces themselves, the meeting facilitator will share a pre-produced video created by the team, which shares their year-long use of the engineering design process. Following the video, the facilitator will open the floor for a question and answer session, which will last between 5 and 10 minutes, depending on how many questions are asked. It is highly encouraged for you as an evaluator to ask questions, as the student teams have been preparing to handle questions. The questions asked should focus on the process of the design and should aim to elucidate aspects of the project, not to discourage students or criticize the project. Once the facilitator ends the Q&A session, the student team will be dismissed from the meeting, and evaluators will have around 10 minutes to discuss the project and complete the rubric. It's highly recommended that evaluators hold off on submitting their rubrics until this discussion is complete.
The rubric used for the presentations will be completed using a Google form. The link should be shared with you prior to the presentation session, but if you don't have it, don't worry. The facilitator will be able to share the link in the chat during the meeting. The rubric is intended to evaluate the process used by the teams, not simply the quality of their final prototype. The rubric consists of 16 questions. The first 11 relate to the team's demonstration of their use of the engineering design process. The questions are organized to match up with the order that these steps are covered in the EDD curriculum, but the order of topics is not a requirement. The other 5 questions relate to the production quality of the team's video presentation. Let's briefly go over what each of the questions will cover.
Question 1 is about the problem statement. Teams should have a clear and concise problem statement that explains the who, what, when, where, and how of their selected problem.
Question 2 is about justifying the problem statement. Teams should convincingly make the case that their selected problem is legitimate, using various sources, including academic sources and market research, including surveys.
For question 3, teams should demonstrate that they researched and considered current and past attempts to solve the problem. These can be products available on the market or patents for solutions that are not commercially available.
Question 4 involves the criteria and constraints established by the team for a solution to the problem. Each team should have numerous criteria as well as numerous constraints. These criteria and constraints should be measurable, justified by their research, and be relevant to the solution.
Question 5 involves 2 parts: the potential design concepts that the team generated and the use of a decision matrix to select the optimal solution. Before selecting a final design, teams are expected to brainstorm and generate many different potential solutions and use a numerical decision matrix analysis to select the best one. An ideal project uses an iterative process to generate extra potential solutions based on combining or rethinking their initial concepts.
Question 6 is about the design of the team's selected solution. A good design is specific, detailed, and should include visual graphics. These might include 3D models, detailed and dimensioned sketches, process flowcharts, or some other visual depending on the nature of the team solution. The design should align with the criteria and constraints mentioned earlier.
Question 7 concerns the prototype that was or was not actually built by the students. By this point in the process, teams should have constructed a working, testable prototype of their selected design.
Question 8 is an evaluation of the testing plan for the prototype. Tests should be developed to evaluate the prototype against all criteria and constraints, and the testing procedure should be repeatable and likely to result in reliable, unbiased results. Teams do not need to have a working prototype to present an exemplary testing plan.
For question 9, the rubric is evaluating the performance of the tests and the team's handling of the test results. An exemplary test follows the testing plan and leads to quantitative data that is analyzed against the criteria and constraints.
In question 10, the rubric is evaluating which science, technology, engineering, and math principles the team used either when developing their prototype or testing their prototype. It's expected that during the design process, the team demonstrate mastery of STEM principles and practices that had to be understood in order to complete the project.
Question 11 references cost. Teams are expected to numerically cite the cost of their prototype, as well as the potential retail price for their product if they were to move beyond the prototype stage of development. An exemplary project will itemize the cost of the prototype and justify the market price.
In questions 12 through 16, evaluators are judging the quality of the team's presentation. Question 12 is about the length of the presentation. The goal is close to, but not over, 10 minutes.
Question 13 regards the equitable participation of all team members. The expectation for the capstone project is that all team members participate in the project equally.
The question format changes a bit for question 14, which evaluates the quality of the video production. Instead of selecting just one option, please check each of the descriptors that applies to the team's video.
Question 15 uses the same process as question 14, but now evaluators are using the checkboxes for the audio and speech from the presentation.
Question 16 is another checkbox question about professional demeanor. For this question, framing refers to a presenter's likeness within the frame of the video. Presenters that are excessively close, excessively far, or cover up text on the screen are not professionally framed.
We hope that you found this video to be a helpful guide on what to expect as a presentation evaluator. I'd like to thank you again for being so generous with your time, and we are very much looking forward to seeing you at the virtual presentations.